I'm over here thinking that I'm, doing something wrong when the pitcher never threw me the ball to begin with. So how can I miss an opportunity that was never meant for me? What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to KYOLOGY. That's right, welcome back. We're coming with the comeback, coming with a vengeance. Come on, just subscribe. It's okay. Just become part of the family. Come back, let's chat, let's deal with some stuff, let's unpack some stuff, and just be a better version of yourself for you, because you deserve it. So today we're talking about handling rejection, how to cope with it. I've been going through a little bit of a rough patch, dealing with a lot of rejection for internships, and it's been problematic, basically. So here's the rundown very quickly. So obviously, I need an internship to graduate, and I couldn't get one because everybody denied me. That's the scoop. What makes this a really big deal for me is that I've had no problem getting internships before. Like, I've had several jobs, internships, blah, blah, blah. So, the last few months, I've been steadily preparing for needing this internship, and I never thought it would be a big deal, just like every other time. That in all my resumes, my cover letters, I received a lot of, interviews, like callbacks for interviews. When interview, get a lot of positive reinforcement. I'd get off of interviews and automatically think like, oh yeah, I got it. Like, that went so good, blah, 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 blah. The connections were there. I feel like I hit a lot of great points. And sometimes I didn't think that, and then sometimes I did. The times that I did, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this one, Never got it. Each time, no offer. And that, destroyed me. It was just weird because I've never had to deal with that before, so I really didn't know what to think. But the fact of the matter is that I definitely started to let it reflect my self-worth and my value as far as, an employee and a student, and, the skills and the talent and, whatever I have to bring to that job, I felt like clearly wasn't being viewed as optimal to them. And, it was just a lot at first to deal with, but very good internship now. So it's okay. But even before I got this offer, I had started to unpack this back in December because I knew I wanted to make a video on this. When I started to really unpack this, it really hit me in a spiritual way. Had to really sit in the fact that, like the scripture says, all things work together for our good, for those that love the Lord and are called for his purpose. So that is where I found a lot of my refuge, in knowing that I'm gonna be okay. Everything's gonna work out for my good in the end. If it's not for me, it's just not for me, and that's why I didn't get it. Because, at first, obviously, I don't want to think about that. I want to think about the fact that these people turned me down. They buttered me up just to turn me down, and that got me really tight. It got me really upset. But then after school ended and I had time to really reflect, that's kind of where I was sitting in, is the fact that, who are they to, make me miss an opportunity? They're nobody. So I really had to sit in that and seek God as my refuge and my comfort and my strength. And that's what I did. And as I was thinking about this a while ago, I just got this image, actually, of a baseball field. And getting a strike is obviously bad when you're playing baseball, when the pitcher throws and the umpire screams strike, and you get 3 strikes and you're out. What I was thinking is, I feel like life is striking me when no one even threw me a ball. So I'm over here thinking that I'm, doing something wrong when the pitcher never threw me the ball to begin with. So how can I miss an opportunity that was never meant for me? And I really had to sit in that. How can I miss an opportunity that is not for me? I started thinking about sports and how it differs for men and women. So, obviously in basketball, I could talk about that a little bit more than baseball because I actually played basketball, but men and women balls are not the same. They're not the same size, not the same weight, none of that. On average, a woman has smaller hands than a man. Not always, but usually that is the case. So it's much harder to grip your ball. It is a little bit heavier, And functionally and physically, when you go to shoot your shot, it doesn't line up all the time automatically how you would if you were using a woman's ball, if you're used to using a woman's ball. So I started thinking about that. Like, I'm trying to do things by myself and with my own strength, and getting upset when it doesn't work. that doesn't make sense. And it's the same thing as, you know, baseball. A softball is used versus a baseball. A softball is much bigger. It cannot be thrown at the same speed as a baseball because of mechanics. That's how it works. And I believe the bats are even different. I believe the bats are definitely different. All of those moving pieces need to coordinate for you to be successful. And if you were like, I'm a female, so obviously I can only talk about this. If I'm used to training with female equipment and you put me on a field now using a man's equipment, I'm not going to feel, more than likely, I'm not going to have the exact same success. I'm not going to excel in the same way. You know, obviously professional basketball players, women, they can use a man's ball. They obviously can use a man's ball. I can use a man's ball. But it's not as easy, it doesn't come as natural when you've already been using the same things over and over again. So I feel like at this point, I have been trying to use equipment that is not mine. And it's not working. I'm trying to rely on other people, other things, and it's not getting me to where I need to be. And I'm upset that I'm not being successful on it, when in reality, I shouldn't be using that equipment in the first place. So that is definitely something that I have to continue to sit in and continue to battle with, and trying to understand why I'm going on my own strength. And let's go back to that missing opportunity thing. You know, there's a negative connotation that comes with rejection. And I was allowing that negative connotation to be a reflection of me. It's a reflection of me not being good enough. Clearly I didn't do something right in the interview, there's something wrong in my cover letter, in my resume, all of these things. But like, they were never a problem before. You know, like I'm using the same skills and, you know, methods that I've always been using, and I've never had a problem before, so why is it not working now? So I had to unpack to the fact that God's thoughts and our thoughts are not the same, and there's a higher purpose and a higher call that even I can't see. So if I'm being turned away from certain things, I should actually just be like okay with that, because there's a likelihood that, you know, things could have worked out bad for me in that area. Someone could have mistreated me. My opinions and my thoughts and my ideas probably would have been valued there. Maybe I wouldn't have been able to find a mentor and somebody who was willing to work with me professionally and, you know, kind of be my career coach. All of these things I need to be able to take into account, that something that I thought was good maybe simply really isn't that good. And, you know, in society, this isn't just here, this is all over the world. A lot of people place values on names and brands and, you know, this social hierarchy of, you know, wanting to have jobs and internships and go to schools that are very prestigious in name, because it's like, oh, only if you do these things will you be successful. But I need to be okay with not checking all of these, you know, superficial worldly boxes all of the time, but still knowing that I'm going to get where I'm supposed to be because of, as we said, all things work together for our good for those that love the Lord and are called for his purpose. And I believe that I'm called for his purpose. I believe that I'm called to a higher call. I believe that there is a higher calling on my life, and as such, we're gonna get where we need to be. So yeah, I'm not gonna harp on that too much. I'm not a preacher, but I can only share from my perspective, and the fact of the matter is I am a Christian, so that's just gonna show through whenever I talk about things. So yeah, if you like today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like, comment. Hopefully come back for more. So I'll see you next time on KYOLOGY. Peace out.
Dedication, new revelations, rest your head in my new sanctions, lock your love down to probation. Nevertheless, I do arrest your heart is chained and mine.